Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gids. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. So today I thought I would talk about some fragrances which I recently tried and left me somewhat disappointed. I expected more from these fragrances. I was really happy and excited to try them, but unfortunately they just didn't do it for me, and that's completely fine. If you do love these or you own these, please don't be offended. This is not a purpose of this video is not to bash your fragrance or the brand that you love or any of these fragrances I mentioned. It's just my honest opinion, and I hope you understand that. Okay, let's get into the first brand, which is Louis Vuitton. The first one I'm going to talk about was a release last year, 2025, and it's called Fantamasgory, which is a very interesting name, isn't it? Fantamasgory. Now, this is actually a vanilla fragrance. It's sort of Louis Vuitton trying to go in a gourmand, vanilla, sweeter direction with their fragrance line. They do have some sweet, fresh type of fragrances in their collection, but I think this was the fragrance which was most vanilla forward in the collection. It's part of the X-Ray collection as well. So I thought this is really interesting. I wonder what it's going to smell like. It's a different direction for Louis Vuitton, which is always nice. I'll be honest. First of all, it's quite hard to find. It's not in all Louis Vuitton stores. They don't have it in the Selfridges store. I don't know why. But I finally managed to try it in Harrods, and I just couldn't believe that this £455 fragrance was what I was smelling. It just was much of nothing. It was a very basic, simple, boring vanilla fragrance for £455. Now, I stood there and I thought, wait a minute. So I sprayed two separate cards because I wanted to have 2 cards of the fragrance. I sprayed it on myself as well. And there's nothing about this fragrance which is particularly that interesting or memorable or groundbreaking. And I'm not saying every fragrance needs to be groundbreaking, but come on, Louis Vuitton, with the perfumer that you have at the house, with the whole access that they have, I mean, they can create incredible fragrances. They have the budget, they have the means. This was just very basic. The notes in this one are vanilla, ginger, and almond. And it's described, I thought what was interesting is the way it's described. So it's got an almond note, and it said floral and subtle leathery notes and an ultra concentrated vanilla. So I was expecting quite a concentrated vanilla scent, something really interesting, groundbreaking, a masterpiece, something really which was going to blow my mind. And I went and I smelled it, and I was just thinking, wait, this is the fragrance that they released? Come on, Louis Vuitton, come on. Very disappointing. Very, I hate the word basic, but a very basic, boring vanilla fragrance, and one which actually doesn't really last that long. I mean, I'm not someone that stresses over longevity, but I think if you're going to call something an X-Ray, you need to have added performance. Like, that needs to be notable by the user that they're particularly getting longer wear, even if it sits close to the skin. But this one, after a few hours, I couldn't even smell it on my skin anymore. So it's a real letdown. I think that was a real disappointment. Oud Zarian from Creed. Now, this one really did leave a lot to be desired. And I feel bad saying that because I have friends whom loved this fragrance that said to me, Gids, you have to try it. You have to try it. You're going to love it. It's classy. It contains real oud. It's a bit of you. So I was very excited to try this one. And so disappointed. It smells very harsh. It smells very dry. There's a lot going on in the fragrance. I don't understand it. So in the top, you have bergamot, frankincense, ginger, spice accord. In the mid, you've got rose centifolia. And in the base, you've got the 80-year-old aged oud, patchouli, sandalwood, myrrh, licorice root, and tonka bean. There's a lot going on in this fragrance. I mean, when you mix myrrh, licorice root, tonka bean real oud, frankincense, ginger, spices. There's a lot, and I feel when I smelt this that all of these notes were sort of competing with each other. I also felt it smelled off. It smells off, like it's gone off. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't like this fragrance. I was quite shocked actually. And listen, I understand not all ouds have to smell super sweet or really fruity or full of vanilla. But this one again just smelled, I've said this before, but it smelled like it was unfinished. Like they threw everything in and they didn't really check to see if this is a smooth blend. I don't know. Sometimes when you smell a fragrance, it kind of hits you, but then as it dries down, it gets smooth. This one for me never got smooth. It just smelled very rough, very harsh. And again, just my opinion, I don't like this one. That's all I'm going to say. The next fragrance I genuinely wanted to love because I love the house of Guerlain, and it is a Guerlain fragrance. It is from the Absolute Allegoria line. I have a sample of it here, and this fragrance is called Ambre Samar. Now I'm so glad I did sample this fragrance and, you know, try it on skin and actually managed to get a sample of it, because it's not for me. It's not for me. And the notes in this fragrance sound incredible. I mean, in the top, you've got cardamom, almond, frankincense. In the mid, you have amber, you've got davana, and in the base, you've got benzoin, tonka bean, and patchouli. So it's a spicy, ambery fragrance. And on my skin, when I try this fragrance, I just get so much spice. And I do like amber. And as you may know from a previous video, I let go of Grand Soir because it just wasn't a fragrance I reached for. And I just, since I bought it, I haven't really enjoyed wearing that fragrance. It's just not an amber I particularly care for. I know it's beloved, but for me personally, it wasn't a fragrance I was reaching for. So I have been looking for lovely ambers, maybe to add to my collection at some point, and I thought maybe this might be one. It's just a bomb of spices on my skin, which isn't a bad thing, but it smells like there's so much cinnamon in the fragrance, and there isn't even cinnamon. I think it's the cardamom and incense, and those spices, I feel like the amber in this gets lost, and essentially they've marketed this as an amber forward fragrance. So I just wanted a bit more of that amber to come through. I also just feel like it's too much for me personally. Like it's just so dense, this fragrance, very bold, very rich. And I think on the right person, this fragrance would smell incredible because it's very opulent. It's very regal. There's something quite regal about it, all these beautiful spices, but it's just too much on my skin. And my goodness, just from one spray, it's so strong. This is a very, very strong, very long-lasting fragrance. The performance is excellent. So if you are considering this one, don't worry about performance. It's going to last all day and then some, I am sure. And on clothing, I can imagine you're going to get days and days out of this one. But for me personally, it's a no. I still think this is an amazing fragrance. And I think on the right person, this is going to smell incredible. But on me personally, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And like I said, it's very regal. It's very opulent. It's very rich. It's very long lasting. It's a bold fragrance. So if you are considering this one and performance is important to you, don't worry, it's going to last all day and then some. And I'm sure on clothing, this is going to be a fragrance which is really going to last very long as well. So yeah, but for me, sadly, it's not for me. So those are the fragrances that I wanted to love, but didn't. Please share your thoughts if you like any of these fragrances, what you think of them. Yeah, again, please don't be offended if you like these. If you like them, that's great. Enjoy them and continue to enjoy them. This is not meant to be personal or bash a fragrance that you love. It's just my honest thoughts. But yeah, leave me your comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.